Hello everyone, and welcome to the community feedback video for June of 2017. My name is Kid Lee, and joining me for this episode is going to be Christian Gaming. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Oh, pretty good. So we've got quite a bit to
That's
talk
good.
about in this episode. We actually just had the roadmap come out, so we're going to talk about that a little bit. But to sort of kick things off, how long have you been playing SWTOR, and what are you maining these days?
Well, I got in. I can't remember how many years ago it was, but I know I was a lot younger. And my friend, whose name I won't mention, obviously, but he's the one who actually got me into that game because he used to play that game a lot. He and his dad were really into that game, and I think his dad might still be into that game, but I'm not sure. But he got me into that game, and I instantly got hooked because I've always been a major Star Wars fan pretty much my whole life, and I instantly got hooked into that game because up until that point, I hadn't really heard of any major Star Wars games that I could play. And he's the one who first got me hooked into this game, and I got hooked. But at that point, I didn't have a computer or a really good one, and so I could only play it a little bit. But then once I actually got my computer, I got hooked and I started playing it, and then I've kind of been going off and on for a few years now. But my main at the moment is my Jedi Knight that I'm doing a playthrough on, and I just started season 2 a few days ago after being away for a little while. But yeah, so if you guys come over to my channel, you can see season 2, and you can check out season 1 from uh, maybe last year or whatever. So
Now, is SWTOR your first MMO, or did you get a chance to play any of the others, like World of Warcraft?
no, it was my first MMO,
Oh,
and I loved it, and that's what actually got me into MMOs was SWTOR because it was just the best. And the problem with though is that because I've my first MMO was SWTOR, and I'm so used to that game, and I love that game so much, I've had a hard time actually genuinely getting into any other MMO formats because I'm so used to this one and I love this one so much. And then when I try the other ones, it's just like, eh, you know what I mean?
yeah. Yeah, my first MMO was old Star Wars Galaxies back in 2003. I guess that kind of dates me a little bit, but
Yeah, you've told me a lot about that one. That's and your guild and all that stuff. Yeah, it sounds pretty good.
yeah, that game was great back in the day. So let's go ahead and jump right in. So, as I mentioned a little while ago, the producer's roadmap came out, and this is the first producer's roadmap that we've had in some time. Had a lot of good stuff in there, so I wanted to get your sort of general thoughts and opinions on what you thought of the roadmap.
Well, I watched your stream, and from what I saw, it looks pretty good. I think the operation's going to be really good. You got two bosses, the twin sisters or whatever they're called, and I think those are going to go pretty well. I know people are loving to have more operations in there because I think the PvP community has felt rejected over some of the years because they haven't really done a lot of PvP stuff. I personally am not a huge PvPer in SWTOR. I like to stick to the main story and playing the story because I love the story. But I do understand how the PvP community can feel bad about that, and I'm glad that that Keith is getting a lot more PvP content in there, so I like that. And uh, I think the quality of life. I think they're doing good with improving the quality of life stuff, and we've got updates and a lot of updates coming up actually, and they're doing really good. Keith is on doing player communication, talking back and forth with people, and getting what the community is doing. Whereas people probably thought the previous guy in charge probably didn't think to get in touch with the community as much, or they felt like they weren't being heard. But I think Keith is really doing good on that. From everything I've heard about the guy, he's everybody loves him, and he's a huge SWTOR player himself, as well as being in charge now. So I think this is a new beginning and a good way to revive the game with a new guy in charge who really genuinely wants to make the game better and wants to interact with the community and know what they're thinking and feeling about it. And so yeah, I think this is all the roadmap's going to be pretty good. Uh, I'm also really glad that they're continuing the story because that's what I love the most about Star Wars: The Old Republic and what BioWare is really known for in general is producing a very good story.
Yep,
So
absolutely.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, one thing you said there that was really interesting is you said the words "new beginning," and I've actually heard that from a couple of people now. They really think that this might be a turning point for the game, and of course we'll have to wait probably a couple of years to see whether or not that really happens or not. But there's just so much more communication that's happening right now. I mean, even in like the last week, 2 weeks in particular, it's just been absolutely crazy on the amount of communication that's come out, and it's just, I guess it's really a breath of fresh air for a lot of people.
Yeah, because in today's society, things really aren't made to last. Like you see that with like internet memes and all that kind of stuff, and like and just devices in general. They last for about a year, and then they come out with something better. And I think that happens sometimes with video games, is people get into them for a little bit, and then they don't play them anymore. And where with a game that's been out for 5+ years now, I think it's 5. I mean, it's hard to keep a game that's been out that long relevant when you have all these major new titles coming out all the time. And so I think that with a new guy in charge who's gonna help make the game better and talk to the community, I think it's a good way to revive a game that's been out for a huge long time, and a game that maybe people don't talk about much anymore, besides the occasional talking about an update to the game or something like that.
Hmm. Now, one thing in the roadmap in particular that you mentioned, you thought the new Gamorrean companion was gonna be pretty cool.
Yeah, I thought I always love when they introduce new companions like that, and I think a Gamorrean is going to be pretty good. They in the Cotet or whatever, when they have all those alliance alerts, that was awesome because they added in a whole bunch of different new companions like Nautilans and all that other stuff, and I thought that was really awesome, as well as bringing back some old companions that had been lost when the split occurred in Kofi. So I think it's pretty good what they're doing with bringing in so many new companions, because you get to see all these different species when you travel around the Star Wars galaxy. You don't actually get to have a majority of those species as companions. So with them bringing in all these new species companions, I think is really awesome. Like Gamorreans, Nautilans, Twi'leks, all that kind of stuff. I think it's awesome.
So, what are your thoughts about the Manon Stronghold? Do you like that one, or would you rather prefer another location?
I like Manon. I think Manon's a really good stronghold. I liked what they did with Manon in the Revan expansion pack, where they had the Order of Revan based there, and they had that whole the what was it, an operation, or was it just part of the story expansion thing?
I think you're maybe talking about the Flashpoint.
Yeah, yeah. That was really fun. I like the Manon thing there, and the Selkath are really cool, and all the Force using Selkath and the Revan thing. That was awesome. So I like having a stronghold of Manon. I think that's gonna be really good.
Well, going back to the other thing you're talking about a little bit with all the different species and all that, what would be your vote for the next playable species?
Ooh, next playable species. That's a tough one. Uh, I'm trying to think of. Ooh, a weak way.
That's a good one, yeah.
Yeah, we haven't seen any. I mean, we've seen a lot of weak ways, but we haven't ever gotten to play one or have one as a companion. I think that would be really good to have a weak way in there.
Yeah, I think a lot of times when I ask that question, people are like, "Oh, Rhodians," or whatever. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good one. I don't think I've ever heard that one, so that was cool. Well, go ahead and jumping ahead here. Generally, what we do with these community feedback streams is I have the guests come up with a list of good things and bad things, and so we're going to talk about that here in just a second. But also remember, for the rest of you, go ahead and put your comments down below this video so I can go ahead and send all this information over to BioWare. So for your list, we'll go ahead and start with the good things. What do you have for what is BioWare doing sort of good right now when it comes to Star Wars: The Old Republic?
Well, when it comes to the good things, they're continuing the story, and which I think is a good thing, and they're doing a really good job with that. And Keith is a great new leader, and he's very transparent, and people are loving him, and he's doing a lot of communication back and forth with people, which is really good. And the third thing is the PvP people are finally getting more content under Keith, which is good because I think they've been feeling a little rejected, and Keith is bringing them a lot more stuff. So I think those are the three good things.
All right, and then what are some things do you think that they can be working on?
All right. Well, the three things that I don't really like right now in Star Wars: The Republic are there's been for a while there's been this really big focus on the cartel market,
Mm.
and I'm hoping that maybe Keith can move away from that a little bit, because what I don't like about the cartel market is that I get that a game company has to make money, and with a free to play game and not everybody subscribing, that's one of the ways that they have to make money. But what I don't like about it is that you have all these really cool outfits and weapons that you can't unlock in the game, which I don't like because they've come out with so many awesome outfits and weapons that I really wish I could unlock, but I can't because I can't buy them because, I mean, I don't have a job and all that kind of stuff. And so, because I'm just, a teenager, and I can't buy it, but you also can't unlock it in the game. So that kind of annoys me that you can't do that kind of stuff. Also, I don't like how the free to play players don't get access to everything that the subscribers do, which I understand giving subscribers access to more stuff because they're paying money, but it makes it kind of seem like pay to win for me because they get access to a bunch of stuff that we don't. And I'm not a free to play player. I used to be a subscriber, but then my subscription ran up and I didn't renew it. What's it called when you
Yeah, it's preferred.
Preferred? Yeah, I'm preferred, but I still don't get access to everything the subscribers do, which I don't like that much. But and then the third thing, which this is kind of more of a personal preference and not really a thing that I think is really bad, but it's kind of more of a personal preference. I think that they should go back to all of the older content that they've done, like all of the original chapters and all of the original expansions, and update the graphics to match the graphical quality of Kofi and Kotet.
Just the sort of the overall cutscenes, or do you think like everything in general?
I would say mostly everything in general. Like if they can't do everything in general, then just the cutscenes then. But I would say if just as a personal preference, everything in general, because you can notice a major quality difference when you go from the original chapters to the Kofi and Kotet. And I think that maybe if they updated those graphics on everything in the original chapters and the original expansions and stuff to match what they have in Kofi and Kotet, that would get a lot of people to go back and replay those.
Well, let's go back to the free to play and preferred thing for a second, because I think you might be the first person that I've actually had on that is like free to play or preferred. Do you think like everything in the game should be sort of free or on the preferred status, or do you think there should be some things that are behind like the sub wall or paywall?
Well, yeah, see, this is the problem. Like, I understand a game company has to make money,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean, because if they don't, then they have to shut down the game or whatever, and I don't want that to happen. But at the same time, it's like, I, I don't like how they come out with all this really cool stuff and they can put it on the cartel market, and then I can't get access to it because I can't afford to pay for it, or that kind of stuff, and I'm not a subscriber and all that kind of stuff. So and as a preferred and free to play player, you have a credit cap limit which doesn't allow you to buy as much stuff as the subscribers. So I think with free to play players, I think what needs to happen with this, and this is just my personal preference, I know it probably won't happen because this is how they've been doing it for quite a while, but I think that they need to make every single new outfit and weapon that they come out with unlockable in the game. They can put it out in the cartel market because, so if people don't want to try to unlock it, they can just buy it and then they can make money that way. But I think they need to make everything they come out with also unlockable in the game, so people that aren't subscribers get a chance to unlock that, doing whatever it is, whether it be a mission or a flashpoint or whatever, that kind of thing. And I think that they need to like not put so many restrictions on the free to play players. Like you can't put like appearance customizations on companions when you're a free to play player. You can't like you can't, there's a credit cap limit and all this other crazy stuff. And I know that impedes me a lot when I'm trying to do videos and I'm trying to get a bunch of cool stuff to put on my characters and all that kind of stuff and companions. And so I think that with all that kind of stuff, they need to just remove all of that and make it to where everything that is unlocked in that area, just like the subscribers. But I also think that they can still make money by releasing all that stuff on the cartel market. They just need to also make all of that stuff unlockable in the game. And they don't need to put so many restrictions on like appearance customization, credit caps, and all that other stuff.
Yeah, you're definitely right. Some of that stuff that they're doing is just it's almost silly, like the appearance customization, unified colors and some of that. That's
Like
Everybody
I
should
can't
have
even do
that.
that as a free to play player. Like
Yeah.
the only reason I even can do that is because I was preferred. And so you get that thing in the mail when you make a new player as a preferred player where it allows you to unlock all that stuff because it gives you the pack stuff to unlock it. But that's the only reason I can do that. Even if I didn't even have that, I wouldn't be able to do any of that stuff.
Yeah.
So I think that they need to allow that to just fix all that stuff and make it the same as the subscribers. But I do understand needing to make money, so I think they can still just release all that stuff in the cartel market. I just also think that they should allow all of the outfits and weapons to be unlocked in the game because I know it's really annoying. Because I remember when I was first playing the game, and even still, it was that Sith armor set where it had that robotic head piece that was kind of like a triangle point. I can't remember what it was called, but I wanted it so badly, but I could never get it because it was on a really old set that I don't think was on the cartel market anymore, and I wasn't a subscriber, so I couldn't find a way to get it, and it was just so annoying to me because I wanted that on my Sith Warrior so badly, but I couldn't get it. So I think that they need to make all outfits and weapons that they come out with unlockable in the game. But I don't mind them putting it on the cartel market to make money because I know that they need to make money because they don't have a huge amount of funding anymore nowadays, is what I've
Hmm.
heard. So,
But yeah, you actually kind of brought up some really good ideas there, and I know putting new content into the game is something that they've also seems like they've struggled with over the last like couple of years. I think they're getting better at it now, but just simply adding, let's say, one quest in the game or a couple of quests in the game. You know, it doesn't have to be a daily area or anything, but it's just like, here's some quests that you can do that will get you a really cool armor set, or, you know, one of the ones from the cartel market, or something along those lines. And then you also said, you know, put them back into the raids, put them back into the flashpoints and stuff like that. And yeah, that's absolutely, you know, a great idea. They should definitely be doing that.
right. Also, remove the credit cap thing because that's pretty annoying. I reached my credit cap limit on my Jedi Knight character. Literally on the, I think it was maybe before I started my first episode of season 2 or during the episode of season 2, I noticed in the top right hand or top left corner that I got a notification saying you reached your credit cap limit. And I'm like, how have I reached that already?
Yeah, it's kind of weird because you know we know that the credit cap is in place to to sort of get around the whole gold spammer thing, but you know if I were to sit
Oh, that's
here,
for gold spamming? I didn't know that. I thought that was just the thing that they put on free to play and preferred players because they're not subscribers, because the subscribers don't have a credit cap limit.
yep, yeah, it's for gold spammers,
Oh, I didn't know
but
that. I thought that was just because I wasn't a subscriber that I was getting a credit cap.
yep, but sort of then the thing is you know, and I've heard that a lot. People are like, you know, raise it, remove it, or whatever. So I guess the thing is if they do raise it or remove it, you know, what else could they do to, you know, try and combat the gold spammer issue? And I guess one argument might be that they'll just create more accounts and stuff. So really putting a cap on it isn't really doing anything. So I guess that's one
Yeah,
argument that could be
yeah, because
made.
I've had that gold spammer stuff like emailed to me a lot
Hmm.
before, so I know what they're talking about. But it's, I mean, on the one hand, I want them to get rid of the gold spammers and stuff, which they'll probably never ever fully get rid of them. But I would like them to be able to combat them. But at the same time, it's just annoying for me to have all these restrictions set on me as a free to play and or preferred player in my case because I'm not a subscriber, and it's just I don't know, it's just annoying for me.
Now, as a preferred player, and it could be that you're high enough level to where it doesn't affect you, but do you have any chat limitations right now?
I don't use chat hardly at all. Like I have chat actually turned off on the thing because it just gets in the way of when I'm trying to make a video and stuff.
Yeah.
So I normally just have chat turned off, then I can't see it so that it doesn't get in the way of when I'm recording. But uh, I've actually never tried that. I don't know if I have chat limitations. I'd have to actually go on and test that. But because I never use chat, so I don't know. I'd have to try that sometime. See if do have chat limitations.
Yeah. Because I know another one of the topics that's come up recently is free to play. They do have it for a certain level, and now the gold spammers apparently have switched their tactics and they're actually just whispering people now, which is equally annoying, I guess. But there's
Yeah.
always a way around it, I suppose.
Yeah.
Well, before we wrap this thing up, was there any other things you wanted to sort of discuss or talk about?
Uh, well, I do hope that you talked about in your stream that you bet that they're already working on their next expansion, which I'm glad for, and I hope that that comes out soon because I really did like continuing the story, and I think it's gonna be really fun and stuff. So I'm excited for more story content. But other than that, I think we've pretty much covered almost everything. They've got the IOCAT thing going on that's going to be coming out soon. So yeah, I think we've pretty much covered almost everything. Oh, also, uh, make sure to check out Kid Lee because he's going to be covering all of the E3 stuff. So definitely make sure to check him out if you guys are excited for E3 games or anything like that. Definitely make sure to check out him because he's going to be doing all of that E3 stuff. I know I'm definitely going to be watching that because I'm excited for some of the games that they're going to be coming out with, and definitely Star Wars Battlefront 2. I think that's going to be really good.
Yeah, the whole E3 coverage thing should definitely be a lot of fun. So for people who want to check out your stuff, where can they find all your stuff at?
Well, they can check me out on Twitter at Star Wars _rules, capital S, capital W, and then capital R. It's all together, so with the underscore. And then on YouTube, I'd have to. I'll send you the link to the YouTube channel because it's like a bunch of letters and numbers, so I'd have to send you the link. But you can put it in your description if you want. But you can check me out on YouTube. I do a whole variety of stuff. I do a whole variety of gaming, Star Wars Republic, Minecraft. I do a whole bunch of other games that I'm going to be trying out soon. And yeah, I also do Star Wars content. Like I make lore videos sometimes and all that other kind of stuff. And so yeah, you guys can check me out on Twitter and YouTube. And I thank you for tuning in to Kid Lee's video.
Yep, absolutely. And yes, I will have his links down below this video. You'll have to work on getting yourself a custom link one of these days.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. Like, my channel name used to be named something else, and I made a custom link for that. But then I changed my channel name to what it is now, Christian Gaming. And I couldn't change the channel link, the custom channel link to my new thing. So it's stuck at the old link, and I'm like, well, I'll just use the letters and numbers stuff because I don't want people getting confused on what my channel name is.
Oh, gotcha. Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Well, once again, make sure you leave a comment down below the video for any feedback that you'd like me to send to BioWare. But yep, that'll go ahead and do it for this video. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them below. Thank you all so much for watching. And with that being said, everybody keep playing and have fun.